What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. You want it, you got it. We put up a request for questions so we can answer exactly what you want to know on videos. And here comes the first one. This is from a man, Jeremy Wilbur. Message is, subject is carbs. I recently watched a Jerry Ward video where he goes over scientific studies on how people use bro science when it comes to carbs are doing it all wrong. They don't take into consideration the time it takes for those carbs to be digested and absorbed. I've been using this method and it seems to be working for my workouts. In your experience, do I need to be taking in any more carbs throughout the day if I want to enhance fat loss? If so, how should I go on about it? Now, first of all, let's go into the fact that carbs do not inherently cause fat gain. The reason people basically linked carbs to fat gain is because you have essential fats, essential protein, but there's no essential carbohydrate. So what you have is you need your proteins, right? And you need your fats. So what you do is you take your carbs away when you're dieting because you want to keep your protein about 1 gram per pound, and I like fat at around 0.5 grams per pound of body weight on average, okay? You fill in the rest with carbs. Carbs do not inherently cause weight gain or decrease fat loss. In fact, if you look at a lot of the guys who get really shredded, they eat a lot of fucking carbs. So, with that said, digestion rates of carbs vary. For example, glucose is your body's preferred energy source. So if you're using a carb that is straight up glucose, let's say you're taking dextrose powder, eating gummy bears, or even something simple like a banana, which is part glucose. In fact, I believe it's about 60-40 to 50-50, depending on the maturation of the banana, of glucose to fructose. So that's gonna get into your bloodstream fast, and since it's glucose, it's immediately available. Or you could use a more complex carb that isn't glucose, that doesn't cause the insulin spike, that gets to your system faster because of its low osmolality rate, such as carb 10. So, you have all that in there. So what Jerry is saying is correct when you're talking about oatmeal, or if you're talking about sweet potatoes, or if you're talking about things like that, which I would recommend eating about 1 to 2 hours before training. They will digest pretty fast. However, if you're looking at something like dextrose or carb 10, MTS makes carb 10, full disclosure, that means that you can drink that literally right before or even during training. If you drink it during training, it will get in your system. I dare you to do this. After your training, get a dextrose, get 50 grams of dextrose and 50 grams of whey protein, or 25 grams. Drink it. Within 15 minutes, you will go hypoglycemic. That glucose is being fucking used. So, can you eat a lot of carbs during the day and still lose fat? The answer is yes. If carbs need to be taken way before rather than during training, nah, not really. So I think what Jerry's getting at, if I can just kind of extrapolate what I'm thinking, is that essentially you can eat carbs during the day and it will be used during training. So those of you who target your carbs right around training, it might not be the only way to do this. In fact, to that note, I agree with Jerry. But if he was saying, which I gotta admit I don't watch many YouTube videos, if he was saying that if you eat carbs pre-workout, you're wasting them, I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. By the way, I just did a collaboration with Jerry. See it in one of my previous videos. That's not a game.